Renton family was never very religious. Motor racing, however, was in our blood. I'd built and raced single-seaters back in the 1950s. 25 years later, Justin brought me back into motor racing when, in his early teens, he persuaded me to buy him a junior racing car. Justin was a really talented and committed racing driver. Over the next few years, he raced in 5 different car racing classes and won a number of regional and 2 South African racing championships at my considerable expense.
So just in the background here is Kailami. This is where I spent many a day in my youth honing my racing skills and wanting that to be my long-term career. So this is very cool. They're actually letting us onto the track. Normally the security here is actually quite tight, but for whatever reason they said, no, come on, you can come onto the track. At age 16, I was hooked on motorsport. I loved the speed, I loved the sport, and so I even wanted to make it my long-term career. I remember coming down this hill here doing over 250 kilometers an hour and actually spinning off. But this is a cool memory, seeing this track again. When I was at university, I got actually invited to church by Gary Newton, who was on the mission team. I had not grown up very religious, so it's a new experience for me. But growing up in South Africa in the 1980s, with the racial division, coming to church was so refreshing. It was different to see blacks and whites really getting on well. I just knew this was right. 6 months later, I got baptized in December of 1987. So I remember how angry my dad was when I started prioritizing campus devotionals or church services above motor racing events. And he was furious because he put a lot of his own money into motor racing, and he was not happy with me putting God first.
Attending Bible discussions and who knows what else. Even worse though, this became more important to him than motor racing success.
And he even threatened to speak to our sponsors that I'd lost my interest in racing and that they should cancel our contract. I decided to go to church anyway, even though he threatened that. And my dad was so blown away, the next Sunday he said, "Can I come to church with you?" For the next 7 years, he and I had ongoing discussions about evidences for the Bible and evidences for God. But what really changed my dad was when my mom died. It really rocked him to his core. And at the funeral, I turned to my dad and said, "Dad, now it's time for you to start studying the Bible."
Justin's strange change of priorities and the shock of losing my wife led me, reluctantly at first, to start studying the Bible myself. After 9 months, normal gestation period, I was born again at the age of 66. And my life changed forever.
At the age of 70, my dad married Daphne Lightning, whom they'd met at church. And now, 16 years later, they both serve as deacons in the Cape Town Church of Christ. It is truly amazing how God works through all circumstances to bring people to Him and grow their faith.